In recent events, we've seen the sports world take a stance against injustice. So next, we connect the dots between athletes and protesting over the years.
Where you'll find uncut interviews, extended body cam footage, live streams of Atlanta's biggest trials, and more. Subscribe to 11Alive today.
Let's start with a viral message going around. Quote, vast majority of people who died had ibuprofen Advil in their system. This message is fake.
We just bought 20 dust masks for $97.
Are you doing this to help people, or are you doing this to make money, or both?
Both. Take this email sent to the Verify team. Is it safe to have your house cleaned by outside workers? The best practice is to limit guests to emergencies only.
We know things are changing every day, but we're here with you. Continuous COVID-19 coverage during prime time. We're committed to giving you facts, not fear. On 11Alive News Primetime, weeknights from 8 to 11 on WATF.
There are everyday actions to help prevent the spread of respiratory diseases. Wash your hands. Avoid close contact with people who are sick. Avoid touching your eyes, nose, and mouth. Stay home when you are sick. Cover your cough or sneeze. Clean and disinfect frequently touched objects with household cleaning spray. For more information, visit cdc.gov/COVID-19. This message brought to you by the National Association of Broadcasters and this station.
Today at noon on 11Alive.
We are seeing that lack of smell or altered taste can be a symptom.
We answer your coronavirus-related medical questions. Because 11Alive is where Atlanta speaks.
Televised newscasts not enough for you? Get even more at 11Alive's YouTube channel, where you'll find uncut interviews, extended body cam footage, live streams of Atlanta's biggest trials, and more. Subscribe to 11Alive today.
In recent years, we've seen more and more athletes take a stand or a knee in protest of racial and social injustice. And although it may seem like a new wave to most, it's not. We're connecting the dots between the sports world and protesting.
It may seem like 2020 is the year of unprecedented events, but there is at least one current headline that has a long history. Prominent athletes protesting racial injustice. Let's connect the dots. This is not the first time athletes have used their positions to speak out on social issues. One of the most famous happened at the 1968 Olympic Games. That's when two American athletes, Tommie Smith and John Carlos, raised their fists as they stood on the winner's podium, silently protesting discrimination in the U.S. They paid a heavy price for that gesture. They were expelled from the Games by the Olympic Committee and harshly criticized here at home. More recently, starting in 2010, the Phoenix Suns wore jerseys that said Los Suns. That was in the wake of Arizona passing a strict immigration policy that was criticized as encouraging racial profiling. And just to make sure no one could misinterpret the move, when the team announced the jersey switch, they released a statement slamming the law. Boycotts aren't new either. Two of the world's most famous tennis players, Serena and Venus Williams, boycotted one tennis tournament for 14 years. It was sparked in 2001 when, during a contentious match at the Indian Wells tournament, Serena was booed by a predominantly white crowd, and there were accusations of racial slurs. She announced she was returning to the prestigious California tournament in 2015 in the spirit of forgiveness.
11:54 on your Monday. The FDA now willing to speed up efforts to get a coronavirus vaccine out. That story and more next at the top of the hour.
Today at noon on 11Alive.
We are seeing that lack of smell or altered taste can be a symptom.
We answer your coronavirus-related medical questions. Because 11Alive is where Atlanta speaks.
Televised newscasts not enough for you? Get even more at 11Alive's YouTube channel, where you'll find uncut interviews, extended body cam footage, live streams of Atlanta's biggest trials, and more. Subscribe to 11Alive today.
In times of great uncertainty, some things become more clear. The things we take for granted, the people we depend on daily. Here at 11Alive, we'd like to say thank you. First responders, medical staff, sanitation workers, truck drivers, postal workers, and every brave Georgian doing their part to make a difference. We see you, we hear you, and we appreciate all that you do.
Let's start with a viral message going around. Quote, vast majority of people who died had ibuprofen Advil in their system. This message is fake.
We just bought 20 dust masks for $97.
Are you doing this to help people or are you doing this to make money or both?
Both. Take this email sent to the Verify team. Is it safe to have your house cleaned by outside workers? The best practice is to limit guests to emergencies only.
We know things are changing every day, but we're here with you. Continuous COVID-19 coverage during prime time. We're committed to giving you facts, not fear. On 11Alive News Primetime, weeknights from 8 to 11 on WATF.
There are everyday actions to help prevent the spread of respiratory diseases. Wash your hands. Avoid close contact with people who are sick. Avoid touching your eyes, nose, and mouth. Stay home when you are sick. Cover your cough or sneeze. Clean and disinfect frequently touched objects with household cleaning spray. For more information, visit cdc.gov/COVID-19. This message brought to you by the National Association of Broadcasters and this station.
Some parents can't imagine waiting until their child is 8 years old to begin school, but one state allows you to do just that. The laws vary from state to state when it comes to the age to begin formal school. Why? Here is our Why Guy.
In Georgia, you can start kindergarten when you're 5 years old or wait until the age of 6. In several states, including North Carolina, children are allowed to begin school when they're 7. Although most students start much earlier, Washington allows children to wait until they're 8 to see a classroom for the first time. Compulsory attendance laws vary, sometimes drastically from state to state. Let's look at why. States that require children to attend kindergarten typically mandate that they enroll at age 5. In most states, like Georgia, kindergarten is optional. Diane Levin from the group Defending the Early Years says there are educators in some states that see an advantage to waiting beyond age 5 or even 6 to begin formal school.
Research often shows that when children start being taught formal skills later, they learn them quicker and feel more positive about them.
Pennsylvania lowered its mandatory age to begin school from 8 to 6 this year. Some parents complained that it was robbing them of choice and pointed out that children are learning prior to entering formal school. That leaves Washington as the only state that allows children to wait until the age of 8. It's been that way since 1897. One lawmaker wants to require children in Georgia to begin school with pre-K at age 4. Representative Greg Kennard believes it would improve basic skills.
If someone is not reading on level by 3rd grade, there's a significant increase of them dropping out of school.
By the way, laws vary from state to state when it comes to the age children no longer have to attend school. In Georgia, it's 16.
If you have a question for Jerry Carnes, our Why Guy, send it to us on Facebook, Twitter, or email. And that does it for 11 Alive News at 11:30, but we have much more coming up on 11 Alive News at noon.
11 Alive News at noon starts now.
Thanks for sticking with us for 11 Alive News at noon. We are expecting to learn more details about the kidnapping of a 1-year-old boy. The child at the center of an Amber Alert on Saturday when authorities say he was taken at gunpoint while out on a walk with his mother in Chamblee. Hours later, he was found in Carroll County safe. But now those 2 suspects are in jail facing kidnapping charges. They are expected to go before a judge later today. Nick Sturdivant has the details on the next steps with this case.
It was an emotional reunion on Saturday.
Don't know who they are, don't know how they even came up to this area. We don't know what their intentions were.
1-year-old Mateo Montefiore Barrera's aunt says the family doesn't know why someone would kidnap him. The 2 accused of the crime, Maynor Dario Valera Zaninga and Kristen Nicole Valera Zaninga. In just a couple of hours, Chamblee police, along with other agencies, including the FBI and GBI, are expected to give updates at a press conference. Police told us over the weekend the alleged kidnappers were arrested more than 60 miles away from Chamblee and Carrollton. Police say they held Mateo's mother at gunpoint in front of their home, then ripped him from his stroller Saturday afternoon. Mateo's mother doing everything she could to protect her son. By the evening, officers were able to find little Mateo unharmed with the 2 people who were arrested. We also learned that the couple even changed the boy into a dress in an attempt to disguise him.
Often the children are not found as fast, so we're so grateful for the authorities.
Sarah Copen, the executive director of local nonprofit The Hope Box, which helps rescue children in need, says oftentimes cases like this don't have these endings.
75% of our most at-risk children are ages 3 and under. About 50% of those are just 0 to 1. So you're talking infants are the most at risk for abandon, neglect, and abuse.
Police need your help tracking down the gunman who fired multiple shots in a crowded parking lot, hitting a 12-year-old girl. Police say multiple shots were fired in the area of the Lowe's on the East Point Atlanta line Saturday night. Officers responding to the parking lot following a complaint about a large group of people hanging out in that area. Officers found the 12-year-old injured in the back of the Longhorn Steakhouse. She was taken to the hospital. If you know anything, East Point police want to hear from you. Now to a gridiron gunfight. 2 adult football teams fire off at least 30 rounds at a popular family park in Gwinnett. It happened Saturday night at Gary Perkle Park in Sugar Hill. Police say 2 semi-professional football teams were playing each other when a fight started in the middle of the field. The game was canceled, and then a short time later, police say multiple people opened fire. At least 100 people were there at the time. 1 person was shot in the leg and is expected to be okay. State Representative David Clark posted on social media that he and his wife heard those gunshots. He went on to say this behavior is unacceptable and those teams will not be allowed back at the park. Although neither police nor State Rep Clark named the teams, the Semi-Professional Football League, the APDFL, advertised the matchup on their Facebook page, saying the Columbus Storm would take on the Georgia Cardinals at Gary Perkle Park Saturday night. However, we reached out to the league last night. They told us Saturday's game was not an official APDFL game. They say the league has not played an official game since March, and they don't have any games on the calendar until February of next year. They also claim that neither team is even in their league. So the league later added that the Georgia Cardinals had only applied to be in the APDFL, but had not been accepted yet. We're working to gather more information as we straighten this story out. We'll keep you updated on 11alive.com. Legendary Georgetown basketball head coach John Thompson has died. Thompson led Georgetown to its only national title in 1984, making him the first black head coach to win a major collegiate championship. During his time, he coached some of the biggest names in the sport, including Patrick Ewing, Alonzo Mourning, and Allen Iverson. He built the Hoyas into a national power, taking his teams to 3 Final Fours in the 1980s while winning 7 Big East titles. He won a total of 596 games, and he was elected to the Hall of Fame back in 1999. Coach Thompson was 78 years old.
Legend, true legend right there. All right, what are your plans for this afternoon? If you're stepping outside, hopefully they include one of these, an umbrella. Yeah, pack it along with you, even though it's not raining right now. Maybe where you are, there could be some rain headed your way. We have a chance for some scattered showers, thunderstorms later on this afternoon, so you'll get the sprinkles first, and then Thunderstorms maybe later. 86, our forecast high temperature for the day. The clouds have taken over, so they may have a say in those temperatures. Right now, most of the rain is on the south side. Those showers that are developing on the south side of town. So our southernmost counties experiencing that. You see here in Henry County, you got it in Coweta County, also Fayette County as well. A little bit further down to the south, Upson County down in Thompson, starting to get a little moderate pocket right there. And so we'll start to see some of those lightning strikes embedded in a few of these showers later this afternoon. Temperatures finally heating up into the 90s. You got some 70s up here to the north. We have a little bit of a wedge going on. 75 degrees in Canton, 78 in Gainesville, 77 up in Blairsville, 81 in the city of Atlanta, 84 down LaGrange, 81 also in Carrollton and Rome, and 80 in Marietta at the current hour. Here's your forecast for the rest of the afternoon. We're looking at temperatures right around 86 for the high today. Scattered thunderstorms popping up after about 2 or 3 o'clock. Not everyone will get a thunderstorm or not everyone will get, in fact, a shower. It's only about a 40% chance, 40 to 50% chance for this afternoon. 81 degrees by 7, so you may want to heat your dinner inside instead of on the patio tonight.
Turning now to the coronavirus pandemic, the number of global coronavirus cases now surging past 25 million. India is the latest major hotspot. The country setting a record yesterday for daily new cases anywhere. The single-day tally of new COVID-19 infections, more than 78,000. Before that, the United States had the highest daily increase. Right now, the U.S. has topped 6 million. Here in Georgia, the number of deaths remain high, but the number of reported cases and hospitalizations appear to be on the decline statewide. The Department of Health reported nearly 1,200 new cases yesterday. That is much lower than the current 14-day average of nearly 2,300 new cases a day. And it's even lower than the previous 14-day average, which stands at about 3,100. Now, 28 new deaths were reported Sunday, and while deaths appear to be leveling out, those numbers are still high. The current 14-day average is about 64 deaths per day, which is higher than the previous 14-day average. The FDA is now announcing it is willing to create a fast track to get a coronavirus vaccine available to the public. Commissioner Stephen Hahn now says he's willing to issue an emergency use authorization, or EUA, for a vaccine. He says the move would skip phase 3 of the vaccine trials if the benefits outweigh the risks. An EUA would make the vaccine available to certain groups before the vaccine is officially approved. Russia and China have already done this. So far, 2 COVID-19 vaccines are in phase 3 of trials here in the U.S. In phase 3, thousands of people participate in trials. Researchers use this phase to document the vaccine's effectiveness and compile safety data needed for licensing. Many vaccines even undergo a phase 4 once they're available to the general population. But issuing an emergency use authorization is not very common for vaccines. Most of the time, the FDA uses EUAs to authorize the use of medical devices or drugs for health emergencies. For example, last week, the FDA issued an EUA for convalescent plasma treatment for COVID-19. According to the FDA, the last time an EUA was used for a vaccine was for the anthrax vaccine back in 2005. On 11alive.com, we are tracking the state's COVID-19 numbers every single day and also providing updates to keep you and your family safe. The easiest way to find all of that is by downloading the 11Alive app. Cherokee County schools resume in-person classes today after several students tested positive for COVID-19. The district began classes back on August 3rd. Classes for some schools were moved online 2 weeks later on August 17th. More than 1,000 students were under quarantine. And to give you some perspective there are about 42,000 students district-wide. Creekview High School, Woodstock High School, and Etowah High School were conducting remote learning after shutting down. The MTV Video Music Awards were filled with performances from all over the world in a first-of-its-kind show because of the coronavirus pandemic. Some artists even accepting their awards from home. The night filled with amazing performances and buzzworthy moments. So let's take a look at some of those top moments. It began with host Keke Palmer giving a tribute to Chadwick Boseman. The award show was dedicated to Boseman, who Palmer says was a true inspiration to all the fans he touched and everyone he encountered. She touched on how Boseman's talent and passion could be felt not only on screen, but in everything he did. The show later presented a clip from the 2018 MTV Movie and TV Awards, where Boseman was honored for his role in Black Panther, but he, in turn, gave that award to James Shaw Jr. Earlier in the year, Shaw had saved lives by stopping a gunman at a Waffle House in Antioch, Tennessee. The Weeknd opened the show with a rooftop performance of his hit Blinding Lights from New York City's Hudson Yards with a backdrop of fireworks. He won Video of the Year as well as Best R&B for his hit Blinding Light. but his acceptance speech each time was muted and brief, expressing a similar sentiment.
Again, hard to celebrate, so I'm going to say justice for Jacob Blake and justice for Breonna Taylor. Thank you.
And Lady Gaga, known for her fashion statements, and last night she showed off her impressive collection of PPE. The singer showed off several outfits while taking home multiple awards, including Artist of the Year and Song of the Year. She was also honored with the first ever Tricon Award for her work as a musician, actress, and philanthropist. And of course, Gaga made sure she reminded people to wear a mask during one of her acceptance speeches. Ariana Grande and Lady Gaga are the most tweeted about artists from the night. Doja Cat took home Best New Artist. Megan Thee Stallion won Best Hip Hop for her song Savage. And Atlanta natives Chloe and Halle performed a song from their new album Ungodly Hour during the pre-show. It's 10 minutes past the hour, cleaning up after the devastation. Hundreds of thousands of people still suffering after Hurricane Laura. Next, we take a look at the damage the Category 4 storm left behind.
Every day, but we're here with you. Continuous COVID-19 coverage during prime time. We're committed to giving you facts, not fear. On 11Alive News Primetime, weeknights from 8 to 11 on WATF.
There are everyday actions to help prevent the spread of respiratory diseases. Wash your hands. Avoid close contact with people who are sick. Avoid touching your eyes, nose, and mouth. Stay home when you are sick. Cover your cough or sneeze. Clean and disinfect frequently touched objects with household cleaning spray. For more information, visit cdc.gov/COVID-19. This message brought to you by the National Association of Broadcasters and this station.
Today at noon on 11Alive.
We are seeing that lack of smell or altered taste can be a symptom.
We answer your coronavirus-related medical questions. Because 11Alive is where Atlanta speaks.
Televised newscasts not enough for you? Get even more at 11Alive's YouTube channel, where you'll find uncut interviews, extended body cam footage, live streams of Atlanta's biggest trials, and more. Subscribe to 11Alive today.
In times of great uncertainty, some things become more clear. The things we take for granted, the people we depend on daily. Here at 11Alive, we'd like to say thank you. First responders, medical staff, sanitation workers, truck drivers, postal workers, and every brave Georgian doing their part to make a difference. We see you, we hear you, and we appreciate all that you do.
Hundreds of thousands of Louisiana residents are waking up again without power or water today, still suffering the devastation from Hurricane Laura. That Category 4 storm left almost nothing in the area untouched. The damage now estimated at nearly $20 billion. NBC's Morgan Chesky has the latest from Lake Charles, Louisiana.
This morning, the first steps forward after a devastating hurricane, a massive cleanup.
You're midday through the day and you just look around and the things that are important to your children and that are important to you are just in shambles, and there's water everywhere, and you think to yourself, how is this reality?
Rachel Owens came back home after evacuating to find a painful new normal. Neighborhoods in pieces, stores torn apart, and long lines for precious fuel.
This is how life is now for the foreseeable future. I mean, it's going to be bad. No water, no gas, no sewer, nothing.
Here in Calcasieu Parish, getting rid of this debris just part of the problem. An even bigger issue, restoring power to hundreds of thousands of customers. A process officials say won't take weeks, but months.
The city administrator of Lake Charles says Laura toppled power lines and trees together and tore up vital water lines, complicating the cleanup.
I knew there'd be a considerable amount of damage, a devastation. It's probably more than I ever anticipated.
The damage, heartbreaking, but interspersed with hope.
So we drove down to Cameron and saw some locals outside, checked in on them.
Crystal Winrick felt like she had to help, flying in from LA to join up with local groups to rescue lost pets. One house leading the team to these kittens that were left behind.
Hi, gorgeous. We're so happy we found you.
Others also giving back.
I can tell you we are so glad to be here. There is nothing we'd rather be doing right now.
Liz Landers lived through Hurricane Katrina 15 years ago.
Having been there yourself, what do you tell these folks in line?
That they're going to be okay. That they're going to go home and they're going to put their lives back together. It's going to be fine. It's going to be fine. And we're here to love you and feed you.
And there are plenty of folks who are going to need that help. We know more than 52,000 people have already applied for relief with FEMA. That agency already handing out more than $600,000 in assistance. Morgan Chesky, NBC News, Lake Charles, Louisiana.
All right, 12:16 is the current time. We are looking at, well, just a few clouds on the outside. Starting to see a little bit of sun break through the clouds over in Rome. If you joined us the last half hour, this was all gray. The clouds looking ominous, right? But people were still walking around. Maybe they knew something I didn't know. They knew the sunshine was coming back out, but we still have a threat for showers this afternoon, possibly even a thunderstorm or two. Here's a better look at those clouds now. You can see how they're scattered as well. And then we have some showers developing on the south side. Our southernmost counties, Henry County, southern parts of Henry County. This is into Fayette County as well. Down here through Spalding County into Upson County, where we do have a few moderate pockets popping up down there. I think we won't have thunderstorms until we get to about 2 or 3 o'clock this afternoon. Some embedded thunderstorms will be found in just a few of those showers. The Wizometer is how we rate your weather on a scale from 1 to 11, with 11 being the most perfect day we can have for this time of year. Not quite there. In fact, we haven't seen an 11 in quite some time. It's been a minute or two, right? Summer's still hanging on, you know, but we're getting to this weekend. The unofficial end of summer would be Labor Day weekend, right? Summer doesn't officially end until we get to almost the end of September, right? September 21st to 22nd. We're looking at 5 out of a possible 11 today on the Wizometer. 86, that's where we should be for this time of year, but with the clouds and the threat for rain, we got that lower number on the Wizometer. A good 40 to 50% chance for that. Not what we're seeing back off here to the west over toward Arkansas. We got some thunderstorms falling apart at least, but it's riding along a stationary boundary that's located over us, where we have a little bit of wedge setting up here, where we had temperatures up here in the 70s. South of that front, temperatures are in the 80s, and we'll be well into the 80s as we head through the rest of the afternoon. Switching to more of a westerly flow this afternoon. We had it from the south earlier this morning, but now more of a westerly flow coming in. Tropics getting pretty active. Yeah, we got 2 systems close enough to the United States, and we'll focus on those. These 2 yellows out here are very low chances or low threats for turning something tropical, but over the next couple of days as they move over the warm waters, of course, we'll have to see that. All right, so we have this one up here to the, which is off the coast of South Carolina. In fact, almost adjacent to our coast here, but it is going to be moving away from the coastline. That's the good news. Good 70% chance over the next couple of days to develop into a named storm. And then we have one headed toward the Caribbean. Now, if you notice this path here, looks very similar to Laura. Good 80% chance over the next 5 days for it to turn into something tropical. So we'll watch that over the next couple of days to see if we have any tropical development. And keep in mind that the peak for hurricane season is September 10th. We're getting closer, and already had numerous storms already. All right, so the thunderstorm threat, or at least severe thunderstorm threat this afternoon will be mainly over toward the west, where you see that yellow, and that has been extended this afternoon to include Memphis in western Tennessee. That's where we have a level 2 out of a possible 5 as far as severe weather. Notice the dark green, that's a level 1, extends over into Birmingham and a little bit further over toward the west, almost to our border. We are under the light shade, green. That means a 0 out of a possible 5. Isolated or 1 or 2 severe thunderstorms could pop up in our area, but not as widespread as you would see it and where we have these darker greens over toward the east of us and over toward the west. We're kind of sandwiched in between the activity for this afternoon. Here it is, our forecast track model. You can follow along with the time right there above my big head. This afternoon, the showers will be developing. All right, and so we start to see that area wide. Embedded in a few of those will be a few of those thunderstorms that will pop up, and then we'll lose that once we lose the daytime heating, and we'll lose our threat for those showers as well as we head into the middle of the work week, but those temperatures will be going up into the low 90s. We're back right after this.
Avoid touching your eyes, nose, and mouth. Stay home when you are sick. Cover your cough or sneeze. Clean and disinfect frequently touched objects with household cleaning spray. For more information, visit cdc.gov/COVID-19. This message brought to you by the National Association of Broadcasters and this station.
Today at noon on 11Alive.
We are seeing that lack of smell or altered taste can be a symptom.
We answer your coronavirus-related medical questions. Because 11Alive is where Atlanta speaks.
Televised newscasts not enough for you? Get even more at 11Alive's YouTube channel, where you'll find uncut interviews, extended body cam footage, live streams of Atlanta's biggest trials, and more. Subscribe to 11Alive today.
In times of great uncertainty, some things become more clear. The things we take for granted, the people we depend on daily. Here at 11Alive, we'd like to say thank you. First responders, medical staff, sanitation workers, truck drivers, postal workers, and every brave Georgian doing their part to make a difference. We see you, we hear you, and we appreciate all that you do.
Let's start with a viral message going around. Quote, vast majority of people who died had ibuprofen Advil in their system. This message is fake.
We just bought 20 dust masks for $97.
Are you doing this to help people, or are you doing this to make money, or both?
Both. Take this email sent to the Verify team. Is it safe to have your house cleaned by outside workers? The best practice is to limit guests to emergencies only.
We know things are changing every day, but we're here with you. Continuous COVID-19 coverage during prime time. We're committed to giving you facts, not fear. On 11Alive News Primetime, weeknights from 8 to 11 on WATF.
There are everyday actions to help prevent the spread of respiratory diseases. Wash your hands. Avoid close contact with people who are sick.
In recent years, we've seen more and more athletes take a stand or a knee in protest of racial and social injustice. And although it may seem like a new wave to most, it's actually not. We're connecting the dots between the sports world and protesting.
It may seem like 2020 is the year of unprecedented events, but there is at least one current headline that has a long history. Prominent athletes protesting racial injustice. Let's connect the dots. This is not the first time athletes have used their positions to speak out on social issues. One of the most famous happened at the 1968 Olympic Games. That's when two American athletes, Tommy Smith and John Carlos, raised their fists as they stood on the winner's podium, silently protesting discrimination in the U.S. They paid a heavy price for that gesture. They were expelled from the Games by the Olympic Committee and harshly criticized here at home. More recently, starting in 2010, the Phoenix Suns wore jerseys that said Los Suns. That was in the wake of Arizona passing a strict immigration policy that was criticized as encouraging racial profiling. And just to make sure no one could misinterpret the move, when the team announced the jersey switch, they released a statement slamming the law. Boycotts aren't new either. Two of the world's most famous tennis players, Serena and Venus Williams, boycotted one tennis tournament for 14 years. It was sparked in 2001 when, during a contentious match at the Indian Wells tournament, Serena was booed by a predominantly white crowd, and there were accusations of racial slurs. She announced she was returning to the prestigious California tournament in 2015 in the spirit of forgiveness.
To help people, or are you doing this to make money, or both?
Both. Take this email sent to the Verify team. Is it safe to have your house cleaned by outside workers? The best practice is to limit guests to emergencies only.
We know things are changing every day, but we're here with you. Continuous COVID-19 coverage during prime time. We're committed to giving you facts, not fear. On 11Alive News Primetime, weeknights from 8 to 11 on WATF.
There are everyday actions to help prevent the spread of respiratory diseases. Wash your hands. Avoid close contact with people who are sick. Avoid touching your eyes, nose, and mouth. Stay home when you are sick. Cover your cough or sneeze. Clean and disinfect frequently touched objects with household cleaning spray. For more information, visit cdc.gov/COVID-19. This message brought to you by the National Association of Broadcasters and this station.
Today at noon on 11Alive.
We are seeing that lack of smell or altered taste can be a symptom.
We answer your coronavirus-related medical questions. Because 11Alive is where Atlanta speaks.
Televised newscasts not enough for you? Get even more at 11Alive's YouTube channel, where you'll find uncut interviews, extended body cam footage, live streams of Atlanta's biggest trials, and more. Subscribe to 11Alive today.
In times of great uncertainty, some things become more clear. The things we take for granted, the people we depend on daily. Here at 11Alive, we'd like to say thank you. First responders, medical staff, sanitation workers, truck drivers, postal workers, and every brave Georgian doing their part to make a difference. We see you, we hear you, and we appreciate all that you do.
Let's start with a viral message going around. Quote, vast majority of people who died had ibuprofen Advil in their system. This message is fake.
We just bought 20 dust masks for $97.
Are you doing this to help?
The laws vary from state to state when it comes to the age to begin formal school. If you're wondering why, here's our why guy.
In Georgia, you can start kindergarten when you're 5 years old or wait until the age of 6. In several states, including North Carolina, children are allowed to begin school when they're 7. Although most students start much earlier, Washington allows children to wait until they're 8 to see a classroom for the first time. Compulsory attendance laws vary, sometimes drastically from state to state. Let's look at why. States that require children to attend kindergarten typically mandate that they enroll at age 5. In most states, like Georgia, kindergarten is optional. Diane Levin from the group Defending the Early Years says there are educators in some states that see an advantage to waiting beyond age 5 or even 6 to begin formal school.
Research often shows that when children start being taught formal skills later, they learn them quicker and feel more positive about them.
Pennsylvania lowered its mandatory age to begin school from 8 to 6 this year. Some parents complained that it was robbing them of choice and pointed out that children are learning prior to entering formal school. That leaves Washington as the only state that allows children to wait until the age of 8. It's been that way since 1897. One lawmaker wants to require children in Georgia to begin school with pre-K at age 4. Representative Greg Kennard believes it would improve basic skills.
If someone is not reading on level by 3rd grade, there's a significant increase of them dropping out of school.
By the way, laws vary from state to state when it comes to the age children no longer have to attend school. In Georgia, it's 16.
That'll do it for us today. Thank you so much for watching 11Alive News at noon. I'm Christy Diaz. Stay safe.
In times of great uncertainty, some things become more clear. The things we take for granted, the people we depend on daily. Here at 11Alive, we'd like to say thank you. First responders, medical staff, sanitation workers, truck drivers, postal workers, and every brave Georgian doing their part to make a difference. We see you, we hear you, and we appreciate all that you do.
Let's start with a viral message going around. Quote, vast majority of people who died had ibuprofen Advil in their system. This message is fake.
We just bought 20 dust masks for $97.
Are you doing this to help people or are you doing this to make money or both?
Both. Take this email sent to the Verify team. Is it safe to have your house cleaned by outside workers? The best practice is to limit guests to emergencies only.
We know things are changing every day, but we're here with you. Continuous COVID-19 coverage during prime time. We're committed to giving you facts, not fear. On 11Alive News Primetime, weeknights from 8 to 11 on WATF.
There are everyday actions to help prevent the spread of respiratory diseases. Wash your hands. Avoid close contact with people who are sick. Avoid touching your eyes, nose, and mouth. Stay home when you are sick. Cover your cough or sneeze. Clean and disinfect frequently touched objects with household cleaning spray. For more information, visit cdc.gov/COVID-19. This message brought to you by the National Association of Broadcasters and this station.
Today at noon on 11Alive.
We are seeing that lack of smell or altered taste can be a symptom.
We answer your coronavirus-related medical questions. Because 11Alive is where Atlanta speaks.
Televised newscasts not enough for you? Get even more at 11Alive's YouTube channel, where you'll find uncut interviews, extended body cam footage, live streams of Atlanta's biggest trials, and more. Subscribe to 11Alive today.
Let's start with a viral message going around. Quote, vast majority of people who died had ibuprofen Advil in their system. This message is fake.
We just bought 20 dust masks for $97.
Are you doing this to help people or are you doing this to make money or both?
Both. Take this email sent to the Verify team. Is it safe to have your house cleaned by outside workers? The best practice is to limit guests to emergencies only.